Welcome to this week's episode of the CD Sport Podcast with me, Kerry Davis. Joining us today, we have got Iron Mike. Mike Worthing, what's happening, friend?
How's it going, bud? All right?
I'm not too bad, but I thought I'd get you on to talk about your 2017 Ironman experience.
Yeah, let's give it a blast, is it?
For the people who don't know what an Ironman is, 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and 26.2 mile run, which is a marathon. Is it in that order as well? I did that order.
Yeah, in that order. Swim, bike, run, but...
Yeah. So I think the first question is, what made you do it? Why would you want to do that?
For me, obviously, I've got family living in Tenby and always going down to watch Ironman Wales. And I can remember going down in 2016 to watch it. And you see the people on sort of the last, it's called like the happy hour, the last hour, really, the marathon. It's between like 11 p.m. and 12 midnight. And you see them, they're hanging out, proper struggling. And you think, bloody hell, it's been a long day. And yeah, I don't know, it's just inspirational, really, watching them, seeing them going through all the emotions. And I thought, yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of that, like. And when people start saying, oh, you can't do it, you couldn't do it, especially for me coming from a non-running or sport background whatsoever. I thought I'd give it a whirl, like.
So prior to that, you didn't do no fitness, no weights, no sport?
Nothing at all, the odd little run. A bit of biking, zero swimming. So, it was a shock to the system, like.
So you dived into the deep end with the Ironman. Didn't do half a marathon.
No halves, nothing like that. Straight into it, signed up for it. I think it was like October 2016. Paid the whack, which it is. The entry fee is like 500 odd quid.
Bloody hell. Is it that much?
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, Ironman events are for the name, for the brand. You're paying for the brand. So, yeah, signed up and then thought I better start running.
Way to go. So, what month is Ironman normally in? September.
Ironman Wales is September.
So, you watched the 2016 one in September, and then by the October you signed up. So you literally just got the trainers and just started running, or was it something like that?
Bought a bike. Spoke to a few people who was into like fitness and all that in the gym. Found a swimming instructor, someone would give me a swimming lesson, swimming coach. And started plodding, the odd mile here and there. A bit of turbo training and learned to swim in November 16. My first lessons in November 16.
So when you say lessons, like in an indoor swimming pool, or would you?
Yeah, my local gym, in the indoor swimming pool.
Yeah, and then obviously you develop into going out into the outdoor. What do you call it?
Yeah,
you train. What are they called?
Open water swimming, then.
Oh, open water swimming. Yeah, right.
Yeah, just outdoor swimming care, but trying to learn to swim is the interesting part.
I was going to ask you, what did you find the hardest to train for? Was it the swimming, bike, or the run?
All of it, to be honest. They all got their own different aspects. Like the swimming's about the technique and getting your breathing. Like when I first started swimming, I couldn't swim half a length. And this is November 16. And it was like, right, watching YouTube videos, reading books and listening to my coach and just constantly trying, like doing one lap and then reevaluating my swim and my breathing and until one day it just clicks.
I was going to say, I wrote next to the 2.4 mile swim is equivalent to 80 lengths of a 50-meter pool.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
80 lengths of 50 meters. And I remember when I was like a youngster swimming in the local...
But more pools, there's not many pools which are 50 meters, mine, Care.
That's what I was going to say. The one in my school was 25 meters. And that was long. That felt long to me, So it's double the school, the one I was in school with. So that's hard, really hard. So obviously leading up to training, were you just, obviously the length is obviously 112 mile bike, a marathon. Were you like cycling them distance in training and running those distances or no?
Yeah, I did do it. Yeah. Obviously it took me a couple of months to get some sort of stamina and fitness, under my belt sort of thing. Yeah, it was more around, I think, like March 17 then. It was one early Sunday morning. I remember just getting up, shoes on, thought, right, I'm going to go and do a 10-mile run. And just, 4 hours later, I'd done the 26.2 miles. Like, so, just getting into it. Yeah, I'd done the distance on the bike a few times. Like for Tenby, they do this thing called Long Course Weekend. So I think it's July it is. You go down, you do the swim on the Friday night, the bike on the Saturday, and then the run on the Sunday. So, I'd done the actual Ironman route or thereabouts. A few months just before the event, like, so.
I didn't know you could do that. So it's 3-day event, and you obviously go to bed, rest, and do. Right.
That's it. Yeah.
So,
good atmosphere.
Good crack. Yeah. So, anyone can do that, or do they have to be registered to the Ironman to do that?
No. Anybody can sign up and do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got different distances. The same for the swim. They got like the 1 lap swim, which is 1.2 mile, or you can do the full, which is a 2.4. That's on the Friday night. Then you go the Saturday then for the bike. I think it starts like something like 45 mile is the lowest you can do, and then all the way up to the full distance, 112.
Go full into it. And when you were doing that then, or even just through your training, for example, I bet you have a lot of conversations with yourself, like mentally, like, were you thinking like, why am I doing this? Or, imagine running through, in Wales, Ebbw Vale on a Tuesday night in November. Look at the weather now. It's pretty cold, isn't it? Do you ever think like, oh, why am I doing this?
I can't say I ever had self-doubts of why I'm doing it, because it was always like I wanted to prove people wrong. Like even some of my family members were like, oh, yeah, you couldn't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. So it was always like whenever I was out on my long bikes, my long runs, it was always like, I'm doing this to prove to myself that 1, anything is possible. And like 2, I can do it. I like the negative comments from family, from friends. I like people saying, you can't do it, because it always just pushed me that little bit closer. Like,
so you use that negative for positive for you type thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and also as well, I wanted to say at the start of the podcast, like Tenby, that's notoriously, well, the Welsh Ironman. Do they say that's one of the hardest in the world, or one of the?
Yeah, it's up there in the top, like
top few. Is that because of the weather condition and the hills of Tenby, or?
Yeah, it is. The hills, the swim is uphill, the bike is uphill, and the run is uphill. You don't really seem to come down hills, but the hills on the bike are relentless. They're proper rolling hills, and they take it out of you, like.
So you do all this training now. Well, 12 months of training. It comes to the day, September 2017. What's the process like? What's going through your head? What time do you got to be at the start line?
You're at the start, really. By the time when you rack your bike on the Saturday, the day before the event's on a Sunday. You go down there a few days before, do a couple of little runs, a bit of swim in the sea, a bit of bike, making sure your bike's all fit to go. And when I done it in 17, I went to the brief then, where you speak to the Ironman team. So I went across here on a Friday evening, bit of an induction thing and all that. The Saturday then you rack your bike and they do a practice swim and things like that. And then, it's really like up about 3 o'clock Sunday morning, getting your breakfast into you and making your way into Tenby, really, for the start.
3 o'clock you're up? What time is it?
3 o'clock, yeah. You can't sleep at all. You're too excited and your nerves take over. And
bloody hell. I didn't know it was that, really. What's your meal night before for something like that? Do you remember what you ate?
Pasta meal was always mine. Whenever I was doing long bikes, runs, I always found a pasta meal in the evening before.
So heavy.
A nice spaghetti carbonara.
Yeah, bloody hell! Yeah, I bet you need the energy for that, don't you?
Oh, you do, yeah.
So obviously, then you get to the start line. So what time are you meant to run into the water? Is it, so to speak?
It's 7 o'clock, really. Yeah, it goes off. Yeah, the sort of horn goes off. And so, yeah, you get into Tenby Sunday morning, you know, you're going through your bike, checking your tyres, you know, making sure your tyres are inflated. You're adding your food and your drinks onto it, making sure it's all ready. Sorry?
You do all that. You got to do all that yourself. Yeah, you do it
all yourself, everything yourself.
Yeah.
So they tell you where to rack your bike. So, you know, you're looking for every point of where you would recognize where your bike is. So you're adding your nutrition onto the bike, making sure the tires are inflated and everything's ready to go. And then, you make your way across into Tenby North Beach for the swim.
So back to the rack, putting food on your bike and stuff. Could you literally eat anything, or is it like?
Oh no, whatever you want, really. You know, it's everybody's different. Obviously, Ironman, they got their own sort of sponsors.
Yeah.
Which supply gels and different food and different energy drinks at the feed stations. But you sort of just use what you've trained with then.
You stick to what you know type thing.
Yeah, I was using a company called like Mountain Fuel. They're a local company, but they're a big company. They do quite a bit with stuff now. And their energy drinks and things like that, and just jelly babies and things like that, and some energy gels.
You're straight into it. And I remember, I've heard a lot of people say, actually, you know, when you start the Ironman and you go into the sea, and is it like you go swimming, but you gotta watch you don't get caught in like what do they call it, like the whirlpool? Because there's so many people in there swimming, is it?
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. Yeah. Like Tenby, say 2,000 people going in all at once, you know, minus the pros and all that. Once the gate's up, everybody's rushing in. So yeah, you know, you just try to stay clear of people, which is virtually impossible. You know, you're having the odd bust up and punch up with your fellow swimmers, like
copping a foot in the face and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. A foot in the face, grabbing someone's ankle to pull you along a bit or whatever. You know, you just get into it and find your own rhythm and try to get your nerves under control, really.
What was the weather like 2017?
Horrendous.
Was it bad?
It was the worst for the Ironman Wales in the years they've been doing it. Like, so,
as in rain, wind, everything.
Yeah, rain and wind. Yeah.
That's not
horrible.
I suppose the swimming part would be all right today at the start because you're wet anyway. But still bad.
Yeah, you know, you get the waves then, especially for me on my second lap. You know, I'm not a quick swimmer or nothing. I'm not quick at any of them, to be honest. But you know, on my second lap, it was like as I was, you know, bringing my head up for my sight in to see where I'm going. It was as soon as I'd come up to take my breath and look, a wave straight over the top of you, and
you're just taking the salt water.
Constantly guzzling salt seawater. It's horrendous. Like,
it sounds not good. So then, obviously,
I recommend anybody do it.
You reckon? Yeah, I don't know about that. So you do your swim, and then, like you said, you got to find your bike again. Is that hard? Obviously, you're exhausted from the swim. Then you got to find your bike, or?
Yeah, sort of like when you come out from your swim, then you've got to pick up this thing called your pink bag. So you've got your own individual numbers, and they're racked going down the zigzags on Tenby North Beach. So, you know, you're running up the beach, trying to pull your wetsuit off, look for your pink bag. Again, you know, you try to memorize by what tree or by where it is on the ramp. So you're there, you know, swigging your mouth out with some water, bring your running trainers on, trying to strip your wetsuit off, energy gel, banana, anything like that for the 1K run, really, or walk run, whichever you want to do, to transition for your bike. So, you just sort of like plod in through town, through all the crowds. You know, the crowds are crazy down there. Until you come into transition, really, and you go into the sort of changing room things, big tents, marquees, where you change from your swim stuff. You hang your swim bag up, your goggles, your wetsuit, your swim cap, and you bring on your cycling kit. Then, you know, your shoes, your helmet. You might have some, again, nutrition there in your bag ready, like in the tent to go, and then you're straight out looking for your bike. But again, you know, you try to pinpoint, really, you know, of what's around your bike, so you know exactly where you were going. So it just makes it a bit easier and saves a bit of time. You know, you don't want to be wasting 10, 15 minutes looking for your bike, do you?
No. Has it been case of it? Someone's jumped on the wrong bike, or you don't know?
Yeah, I think someone has, but don't get me wrong. They would have probably known straight away pretty quickly, really.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, you'd know your bike, wouldn't you? Because you've been training with it all
exactly,
and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you obviously and you get on your bike, you go in. Say you have a puncture or something on the bike, is that on you, or have you got Ironman?
Yeah, everything's on you. Everything is basically on yourself.
Yeah,
it's all self-supported. So you do it all yourself. You change your tires if there's any easy mechanicals you can do. And yeah, basically just hope you don't have a big mechanical which will take you out of the race.
No issue on yours? Good?
No, nothing really, but all pretty straightforward,
Yeah.
Remember passing people down around Kiln Park, so literally like a kilometre or two into the race, people were punches straight away, and you're thinking, oh, just please don't be me. Like,
I was going to say, that'd be on my mind for the whole 112 mile, I think. Just fucking don't get a puncture. Just,
exactly.
Just get through. Yeah. And obviously, you do your 112 then. You just drop your bike off in a station for the run, is it?
No, basically, you go into the same transition then. So you rack your bike exactly where you took it from. Again, you've got your own individual numbers.
Yeah.
So you find your number. You rack your bike. You go into the marquee tent again. You strip off your helmet, your biking kit, whatever, your shoes, and then, ready for your running stuff then. So your running trainers, and if you've got glasses or a cap, or, people do full changes, or some people just continue in their tri-suits. And then out onto the run you go for the 26.2.
Into the marathon. How did you feel personally after you swim, your bike, and then you go to a marathon? Like, do you remember what your head was at then?
Yeah. The thing with my experience in Ironman, I was really ill. I had severe bronchitis before the event for like a couple of days. Well, yeah, I only had it like probably about 5-6 days before the Ironman day. And so, panicking and everything. I was constantly back and forth the hospital and doctors. I want this, I want that, antibiotics. What can you do for me? And so I was just on an high course of antibiotics, really. So, yeah, when you go back to, like, what was it like for me on the run? Because I was ill or really under the weather, when I was on the bike, I couldn't keep nothing down. So any bit of water I drank, or any bit of food, even a jelly baby or anything, as soon as I had it, it was passing through me, really, like
shit.
Yeah, literally diarrhea non-stop, like, yeah.
So you were going through it all whilst you were shitting
yourself. Basically, I stopped like the first 2-3 times on the bike, but then you realise, I'm wasting 5 minutes every time I stop to go in a bush or whatever. So, plus the weather was on my side, it was hammering down. I thought, let's just go for it.
What? No one stops you for, like, if you need a shit going in the bush? You just, people...
No, well, I never got stopped. Like, I don't know if they can take my medal away from me now, but...
I can imagine people looking past, like, Mike just taking a squat in the bush, like. There's so many people there, I suppose, though. It's just...
it's absolutely rammed, everywhere is rammed, really, Out on the bike, you go some places where, through country lanes where there's not many people, so, yeah.
And so when you're running then, is it the like part of the same track as the bike, obviously, is it? Or different?
No, it's different part. It's 4 loops, 4 of the same loops then, really. You go out of town up towards Kilgetty. Not Kilgetty. I can't even think of the name of the place now. But yeah, it's 4 loops, really. You just, continue these loops, going back through into town, into the crowds, and then you hit the hills, coming back out, get the checkpoints, and now it's a thing called, you get these bands, really, coloured bands. So you've got to collect them in order for you to finish, really.
Ah, right.
Obviously, if you only got 3 bands, you've missed out a loop, or you've done something like so. Yeah, you pick up your 4 coloured bands.
Makes sense, because like you said, people could cheat otherwise then, couldn't they?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, anybody could do that. Yeah, just skip a lap or 2 out or whatever. But you get this thing called band envy, which is good. You see people, especially the leaders and the elite athletes, then, or even people which have just been doing it for a while, the fit people, etc. and you're thinking, right, I've got one band, and these have got 3-4 bands, like, and you feel like I'd remortgage my house to give me a band, please.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I can imagine. It's like, how are they going to, like, yeah.
yeah,
blow your mind,
they're, you know, they're miles and miles in front of you, and you just plodding on and head down and trying to keep as positive as possible and ticking mile by mile off.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it's, yeah, because obviously, like, people doing Ironman, they'd probably travel around the world or the UK, or like,
Yeah,
they'd be in Wales Ironman, then England and Scotland, and bloody, you know, they come from all over the place, don't they?
Yeah.
And for the people who haven't been to Tenby as well in Wales, the streets are very narrow in the town, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And I've heard there's a lot of pissheads around that time too, is there? Like drinking.
Oh yeah, especially, you know, for me, you know, I'm, as I said, I'm not a podium finisher or nothing. I end up here with the top 1,000, whatever, and you know, I'm just outside. But yeah, as the evening goes on into the runs and your laps, you know, pass down, the crowds in Tenby town, the roads just sort of narrow. We're literally just, you know, enough for one person to run through them, and yeah, as you said, you've got the local pissheads out, and just people who's there for you know, for a good weekend atmosphere, really. And people are trying to slug, you know, pints of Guinness, pints of lager in your face as you're running through them, and
yeah, it's not good.
But it's good, you know. Everybody's friendly, and the atmosphere is phenomenal.
Yeah, most people, like they'd be pushing you along. They wouldn't be throwing beers at you, I suppose, would they? They'd be like,
no, you know, and they're doing it harmless way, really. They're thinking, oh, look at him, you know, you could do with a drink, but any outside assistance, you know, it's a disqualification. So I think, you know, the people who's doing the events always know this. You know, if I take a drink off this person and I got caught, obviously, you know, I could get disqualified, and you know, the year or however long it's taken for you to train, and the amount of money you've spent doing it, you know, is a waste, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. When you say that, though, even like if someone give you a Mars bar, a randomer, you'd be.
Yeah, if you got caught, but it's outside assistance, and it's disqualification.
Yeah, bloody hell, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Do you remember your time you did?
14:53.
That's good.
14 hours 53 minutes.
And that's bloody hell. That's a shift. Like just run in 10. You know, if you run for an hour, you know, people can't do that. So you're doing all that. No, so it's really impressive. And obviously, you did it. You've done the swim. You've done the bike. You've done the run. You crossed the finish line. What did you do? Did you break down onto your knees? Was the emotions overwhelmed or?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's like, yes, get me to that finish line, and you get your medal, and you hear yourself, you know, getting called out like Mike Worthing, you are an Ironman forever, forever, forever. You know, you hear those words, things like that. And
do they say that today?
Yeah, I'll have to send you the video, which I've got of me finishing. Then, you know, it's only like a family. Well, my brother-in-law took of me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So he was in the crowds, you know, but you could just hear it. Mike Worthing, you are an Ironman forever and ever and ever.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's things like, you know, your adrenaline's through the roof, and yeah, you get your medal and you go back into a tent then, really, where there's like all hot food and pizzas and anything you want, really, drinks.
Do you have a couple of beers after, or too tired? You're too wrecked?
Yeah, I was buggered. So no, I did not really have any beers. It was more like just milk for me, really. Full cream milk I needed. My body was craving it, like.
I know. I bet. To be honest, I don't think I'd want a beer after doing that. Like you said, I'd probably want a big pizza. I don't know. Yeah, I generally don't know what I want. I
think I definitely had a couple of slices of pizza. And sat in the tent for a couple of minutes, you know, congratulating other people. You see people on the run and the bike, and you see them in the tent. You're having a quick couple of chats there, and it was sort of, for me, you know, just go and see the family then, really. You know, all my family would come down to watch and support, to get out and see them.
Yeah, it's awesome. So after the Ironman then, were you like, right, month off now, no training, or were you still... Do you just relax?
Yeah, it was like, really, I wanted a good couple of days off. As I said, I was still really rough with my chest condition and all that, bronchitis. So I think I had probably about 5-6 days off before I wanted to get started back into running and swimming and, you know, just little spin sessions. And But yeah, things went a bit south for me then because I kept on having these episodes. It was linked to like myocarditis. It's this condition called myocarditis. You hear quite a lot of it, where the athletes have suffered from cardiac arrests at finish lines and things like that. So yeah, basically I had like minor heart attack sort of thing, where I was rushed into hospital it was basically 3 months after Ironman. It was I think it was October, November, and December. It might have been 4 actually. I had 4 turns there. I was rushed in. Yeah. So yeah, we were getting rushed into hospital, wired up, and they're banging the stuff under your tongue, and yeah, I'd had a lot of trying to get to the bottom of it, and the conclusion was they bred down to this thing called myocarditis.
Yeah,
where it sort of overpowered my heart, really, which would speak, for itself. As I said, I was really ill during the event. Like my bike, for 7.5 hours on the bike, my average heart rate, I think it was like 178 beats a minute, 180 beats a minute.
Oh yeah, that's high.
Yeah, so I'd completely blown my heart, sort of thing. Like,
so did you have like a watch on, or you couldn't wear?
Yeah,
one?
I had a wear Garmin Phoenix, so
yeah.
I got the heart rate strap and everything. So yeah, and it's all linked up to your bike computer and things like that. But I knew it was running. I obviously, I just switched that part off and just concentrated on my speed and the distance I was doing on my computers, just head down on the bike and constantly looking at that, really. I knew my heart rate was up through the roof, but it was just like ticking over miles and trying to keep the speeds up, really.
Yeah. So your heart is fine now, is it? It's all like...
Yeah, fine again. Yeah, they put it down, a couple of months or 6 months, he said. The specialist, it was like... 6 months zero training, and so for your heart to sort of rewrite itself.
Yeah.
And touch wood. It's
yeah.
No, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I haven't pushed it to its limit, but I'm hoping that's something which I can do this year. So
I was going to say, because you actually signed up for the 2021, did you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But obviously, all COVID, fuck that.
COVID got in the way.
Like it's done for a lot of things.
Yeah, so obviously we're all deferred to this year now, but I think that it's going to be cancelled again this year.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, the big events, I don't know how 10 we could say we can have, a couple of 100,000 people there together.
Yeah, no, like you said, September. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's a big crowd, isn't it? Like you said.
Yeah, it is. There is no room, really.
So did you pay for 2020, did you?
Yeah, paid for 2020, so it's an automatic deferral for this year now.
And I was going to ask that. Would you fancy doing one maybe in the States, or would you just stick to Tenby type thing?
No, I do want to go further afield. I would like to do like Barcelona and the Alps and wherever really. There's a couple I want to do. But Tenby's my next one again now, because I do want to prove to myself that I can do it again.
Yeah, 3 years on, 4 years. Well, 4 or 5 years on. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yeah. So.
Say 4 years older. Can't get my numbers right.
I know. Just trying to find it again now.
How old are you doing that then? The first one.
I'm 38 now, Kev. So what was that?
34, there we are, yeah.
34?
No, yeah, because I remember you, because me and you used to work together, didn't we? Yeah. And I remember you saying, like, my biggest shock with that, I'm no doctor, but I'm like, you're 34, you're fit, and it would, like, kind of give me a bit of a, bloody hell, how are you having a heart attack, after doing all that? You're super fit, but now speaking to you on the podcast, it makes more sense to me. Like, you were ill, you were on antibiotics, your heart rate was 180 for 7 hours. I didn't know that, but yeah, just hopefully it doesn't go like that again, type thing, is it?
Yeah, hopefully not. I think one lesson I'll take away is, when you are under the weather, there is no need to go out training and pushing yourself, really. So if there's any sort of flu or, I need a couple of days off, I'm not going to worry about missing a training sesh. You need your body to recover first.
Yeah, they say our recovery is just as important as the training you do as well, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
No. Oh, listen, Mike, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with me.
No, it's a pleasure, Kev.
In fact, I wouldn't mind doing another one with you because you're a very what's the right word for this? You're a mountaineer as well, aren't you? You've done a bit of
I like my mountaineering again, which we cannot do at the moment.
Which you cannot do. Although you see people on Instagram at Penavan and
I know
all that.
exactly.
But no, you've obviously you've done the highest mountain in Europe, haven't you? Mont Blanc.
Yeah, Mont Blanc.
Have you ice climbed Ben Nevis a few times as well?
Yeah, I've done some ice climbing. Not so much ice climb Ben Nevis, but I've done some waterfall climbing up in Fort William and things like that. So
yeah, you've done some. You've heard some good stories. You've told me some good stories about that too, and you've been up Nevis when there's avalanches and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But up in Scotland in the depth of winter.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. So yeah, maybe we could have you back on and we could talk a bit about that.
Definitely, but
next episodes. But yeah, before I let you go, do you want to give anyone a shout out or where anyone can follow you on Instagram or anything like that?
No, everybody really, but all my friends and family and the people who I've told about this podcast now. So yeah, they all know who they are, and they all follow my journey and know my journey.
That's awesome. I think they'll enjoy this anyway when I release it.
Definitely.
So that's awesome, Mike. Iron Mike Worthen, everybody.